Welcome back, everybody, to another day in paradise. That's right, here in Pensacola, Florida, it was 115 degrees yesterday on the heat index, and it was right around 100, and even hotter than that if you were standing in the sun. Oh, boy, it was blazing. Today, it's really nice. It's only 90. Humidity's low, though, which is kind of amazing. But we're here today with this Squareback, and why are we here? It's because the alternator that's been installed on it doesn't work right. So I'm going to show you what we've done to this thing, and we've done some things that actually solve the problem and cause new ones in the process. So we'll talk about that, and we'll come up with a solution and a fix for this by the end of the video, because we're tired of that alternator killing the battery. So let's see if we can get this thing straight. Otherwise, for now, licky, likey, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to plug that dingle bell to get updates every time I upload a video. Check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links, and we'll be back right after that intro. Okay, right in here is our engine. There's the aftermarket alternator that was installed in this car, and it was installed by the previous owner. The problem with this alternator was, you might remember in the previous video when I tried to diagnose it, it's leaking about 1.6 amps when the key is turned off, and it should not be doing that. The chickens were chasing the duck. Okay, you guys are all buddies. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, let's get back on this thing. And what I did to solve the problem was I installed a diode. And what does a diode do? Well, a diode's like a check valve. It only allows power to flow in one direction. In this case, it allows power to flow out of the alternator, but not back into it. And that actually worked out really, really good. Let me show you the positives about this and how it functions. All right, real short, we're going to check the voltages here. And on the alternator side of this diode, we've got 0 volts. And if we look on the other side that goes to the battery, we've got 12 volts, or 12.48. So the diode is doing its job. It's not backfeeding any electric power into the alternator. And that actually is a good thing in this case, because these alternators, for some reason, kill the batteries. Now, I don't know why. I replaced the rectifier in this alternator, and it still killed the battery. Then I replaced the entire alternator with another one that I had, and guess what it did? If you guessed killed the battery, you're right. Same 1.6 amp draw. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. I even went so far as to taking some of the guts out of the alternator to see if it's the exciter circuit, which is what these wires go into here, or if it's the little circuit that reports that it's not charging, to see if that was what was drawing the amperage. And with that out of the alternator entirely, plug it in there, it still draws the power. So, I don't know if it's a defect or it's a design flaw, or what the hell is the matter with these things. This does come from a Kubota tractor. I have not looked at the Kubota tractor diagram. Maybe it has some kind of a disconnect that prevents that from happening. But nonetheless, the diode solved that issue. But it created a new one. Let me show you the new one. When we go up here, and we turn the key, we have no alternator light. Or in this case, it's a generator light, but it's wired into that. Doesn't work. Because that power that feeds into the alternator is actually what makes that light function. So without that connected, we get no light. Now, I didn't even think to do this, but just to show you guys proof of concept, I'm going to jump across the diode, and we'll see that light come on up front. Just a quick jumper wire across the diode. We come on up here, and now you can see that light is on. Not very bright, but it is on. The oil light's just much brighter. Anyway, it is on. And how do I know it charges properly through the diode? Well, let me show you that too. We're going to check to the alternator side of the diode. We've got 14.4 volts, same as we had before. And if we look at the other side of the diode, we have 13. It bounces around. I haven't revved the engine up. Of course, it'll come up just a little bit, but 13.6 is about what I've seen, as high as 13.8. So there is a little bit of a voltage loss across a diode, and that's normal. Sometimes on some of my circuit boards, I might even use a diode just to drop the voltage some decimal point amount. In this case, it's about a 3/4 of a volt. Is that enough to charge the battery? Yes. We could leave it this way if you didn't mind the alternator light function not working on the dashboard. But I've got a better solution. So my solution to this is going to be to install a contactor, or just a very, very large relay. And that diode, I actually got one rated for 100 amps. Oops. I'm not dropping stuff. Well, yeah, this video is a mess today. There's going to be a ton of bloopers at the end of this thing. It's a giant relay that handles 120 amps. Now, this alternator only puts out 60 max, but you never want to load this thing up fully anyway. I mean, I could have put a 60 in there and it probably would have burned it up. An 80 or 100 probably would have sufficed, but I ended up finding a 120, so I purchased that. We're going to put that in place of this diode. So we're going to connect these two poles to here, and then to those two little push-on spade connectors. One of them's going to go to ground, the other one's going to go to the positive on the coil. And that should close that relay when we turn the key, which will energize the alternator, but only when the key is on. And that way we should get our generator light up on the dashboard, and then it should allow it to properly charge through the thing. So anyway, that's the goal today. Let's see if this is going to work. I think it's going to be just fine. But I've never had to do this before. This is certainly an exception, and nobody online has been able to give me any solutions or any other experience with this issue that they don't have this problem. And again, 2 alternators, 3 different rectifiers, same problem. And it's not in the wiring because I've isolated it, so it's not that. That's just the way this alternator seems to work. So we're going to put a band-aid on it, and it's going to solve this problem, including for any other alternators that are installed in the future. Whether it has the issue or not, it's not going to hurt it. So, alright, well, let's get it out of here. It's enough yakking for now. This is the hot side, so I probably should have the battery connected, but I'm the duck man, so I'm going to do things my way. Just don't copy me. Don't ever copy the Duckman, especially when it comes to heavy lifting stuff. This Duckman's almost like Superman. Almost. 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 Alright. Take you out of here. There you go. And this wire is the one that if it hits ground, it's going to spark, so we'll get that out of the way. This one has no power on it. It's actually just going to ground because it's going through the alternator. Alright, we're going to take this off here. Contactor here has some numbered pins on it. And 30 is typically the number that you get on most automotive wiring diagrams. That means it's going to be hot all the time. So we're going to put 30 to, yep, 30 is going to go directly to the battery. Too many wires here. And yes. And yes! Alright. And then our 87 is going to be the switched side. That's the side that's going to go to the alternator. From a physical layout point of view, this actually probably would have been easier to have put them on opposite sides. And it really doesn't matter. The reason why those are numbered is just so that way you can be consistent. If you're building systems, you want them the same every single time. That would be the way to make that happen. Alright, now how do I want to install this in here? You know what, I think it'll work out just fine like that. We'll pick up one of the holes we use for the diode to run a bolt into it. I think that's going to work out just fine. Okay, that's what we're going to do. If you do run self-tappers, as I'm doing right here, into the air shrouds, particularly the left-hand air shroud, on a Type 3, be very, very careful that you don't run them directly into the oil cooler. If you do, you're a fool, and I will laugh at you, like a lot. And I don't want to hear it if you do it, because you're just dumb. I don't know what else to say. You're just stupid if you do that. Okay. I think that's going to work out just fine. Just got to tighten up this other nut. Temperature's coming up out here quickly, guys. I waited to work in this very spot until there was shade, and the sun has already moved and I lost my shade, and it won't be back again for at least a couple hours. There we go. Now let me grab the camera there and take you guys around this side so you can see what I did. Alright, let's move this out of the way. You don't want to spill the blue cup. And there's our contactor relay. Mounted on the air shrouds in a good spot. Need to get one of these terminals to negative, one of them to positive. We're going to pick up the positive on the coil. Positive on the coil goes to the exciter on the alternator. That probably should have a fuse in it. Although it may be fused all the way up in the front. It depends on how the wiring was done on this car. I'll check the wiring schematic just to see. If it's not, you know, I might just throw one in circuit here. This draws, I already looked it up, 250 milliamps on the coil side. And I have no idea what the exciter does in this, but I imagine like a 5 or 10 amp fuse would be more than plenty for setting this up in here. So if I got one, I'll stick it in line. Otherwise, I'm going to do a little research to see if this is even fused. If it is, well, then we're good. I decided, what the hell, let's just put a fuse holder in it anyway. So I did. And it's got no fuse in it, so I'll have to go grab one in a minute. But anyway, this Y is off, so that way one end goes to the alternator and the other end will go to this contactor. So we'll hook it up just like so. We'll plug one end into here, and then one end goes back into the alternator itself. And then this side, our remaining wire, will go to the positive terminal on the coil. And this is what comes from the key switch. Okay, and that gives us juice. Now, what I need to do, of course, is replace that fuse that's missing. We'll get that in there. And we got to hook up a ground wire. So I got one right here. Convenient. Look at this. I made everything for it. All right. We'll go grab that fuse. And I'll drop it in line. And what is this wire that's down here dangling? What does that go to? It's a mystery. We got a mystery wire. Interesting. I have no idea what that goes to. It's oh, there it is. It came off of the oil sender. I thought it came out of this stuff. I see the yellow on it. I wrapped that probably a couple years ago when it was here the first time. Okay, this looks good. Got our wiring tucked away where it's not going to hit our throttle or anything. This is not our wiring. This looks good. This looks good. What is this? This is our vacuum. This is something we need to fix later. That was detached for some reason when it came here. But anyway, any one of the medium-sized fuses, I forget what it's called. The ATOs, I guess, are the full-size ones, and then they have a mini and a micro or some crap like that. I think I got some in the Z, so I'll go grab one. Alright, one little mini fuse. And by the way, Eleanor's, Triple E's, fuse box that I've custom built will take all 3 sizes of fuses. Doesn't matter which. You can put any of the above in the little slots. So anyway, we'll stuff this one in here. Put the little cap on it. And by the way, a 10 it is. It's going to be a 10 because 10 is what I had. Alright, we're all wired up. We turn that key, we should hear that relay fire off. Should make a nice distinct clack. Before we do that, let's see if we get voltages where they're supposed to be. And I'm sure it's fine, but this is one of those things you do it just for dramatic testing, right? Everybody always says, you left a step out, I want to see. It's like in math class, show me all your work. I did it in my head. I don't want to hear that. Well, maybe I'm smarter than you are. Alright, here we go. Should have 12 volts on this side. And we don't. Probably because this is not well enough grounded. Try again. Still nothing. That's weird. What's going on here? Alright. Let's try putting it in a different spot. There we go. Well, it came on for a second. Just a second. What is going on? I don't like this. This is annoying. I'm getting annoyed. 100 millivolts. That can't be right. Something's goofy here, or maybe my tool is goofed up. It's funny, as I see 12 for a second, and then it disappears. Alright, you know what? Fuck this thing. Let's use my trusted test light, because this thing is awesome, guys. And let's see, do we have a light? No, we still don't. Alright, something else is wrong. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Ha 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 ha! I disconnected the battery so I didn't have a fire. That's what you get for being smart, Duckman. See? Look what it did. You should be proud of me. We'll try this again. One on the negative, one on the positive. 12 volts. And then we'll try to switch it over to this side. There should be nothing. 0 volts. Alright. Now I should be able to turn the key on. We'll hear the clickety-clackety. And at the same time, the generator light should come on. Alternator light. It did. And I hear the click. It's not very loud. I expected it to be more of a distinct solenoid bang kind of sound, but no, it's not. And then we should be able to start it. And the light should go out. It did. And now if we come back around here, we should have 14.4 volts. Ah, get in there. No, 12. We're not charging for some reason. Uh-oh. Alright. Well, maybe the relay's not closing properly, or maybe I blew the fuse. Let's dig into it. The idiot light did go out, though. So, something to figure out. Science, guys, science. Alright, it was just a loose ground. I wiggled this, and I heard the relay tick, tick, tick. So I just simply took it apart, sanded it a little bit, put it back together. Now it's fine. Alright, now without dropping the multimeter, we should have, right there, 14.4 volts. So it's charging. So we get the same thing on the other terminal. 14.4, no drop, because a relay is a direct connection, not like a diode. So there's nothing intercepting the connection until you turn the key off. So when that key goes off, we should once again have 12 volts on the one pin. Here it is, 12. And the other pin should be a flat nothing. Excellent. Well, that's effective. That solved our issue. And once again, just making sure that the idiot light comes on. There you go. And it's on. See? Good. All right. It's starting to get hot out here now. I'm in direct sunlight again. Whew. Well, that solves that problem. A little interception. I kind of like that heavy-duty contactor. I might actually put one on EEE because it would be nice to disconnect the entire electrical system, wouldn't it? Think about that for a second. Via relay, via a computer-controlled kill switch. That makes the car even more difficult to get started, or if you're going to try to steal it. So, other solutions. So there's a link down below in the video description if you want one for yourself. So you can certainly find it. There's also a link for the diode. That might actually be useful to somebody. This is actually for a like a solar system. It's 100. I think it's a 100 amp relay. MD110A16. Anyway, it's a link in the video description for that. It must be mounted on something metal because that 0.75 volts that it dissipates gets wasted in the form of heat. It's probably not going to be a lot of heat because it's not that much amperage. It's way below the limit of this thing. But anyway, yep, that's why I mounted on the engine tins, which happen to be what? Air cooled. There's constantly air blowing over them. So for whatever it's worth, it should have kept that cool. But we don't need it. All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this one up. That's the end of this video. So, licky, likey, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to pluck that dingle bell to get updates every time I upload a video. Check out DuckShit.net for all my different social media links. And we'll be back, hopefully, with another video coming up this week. I got more go-kart stuff. I got some welding I need to do. I got some ideas for another go-kart project that I want to work on, and something that people want to buy from me, so I might have to get on it. Otherwise, this gear, I've got this one apart this week, too. Had some electrical issues, and they all were pertaining to the wiper itself. This is the wiper motor. I have it all apart. We're going to be replacing the armature in here because it's coming apart. It had a dead spot in it. And mind you, the other problem is it's 6 volt running in a 12 volt car. So I had a resistor in there. Well, it wasn't here. It was just cooked. It was absolutely fried, and it's what the smell that this car had was from the resistor burning up. Anyway, I don't see it. I might have tossed it somewhere. Oh no, it is right there. How did I not see it? See, it just fell apart. It's all burnt and crispy. So, don't use a resistor, guys. This is just dumb. The resistor is just a bad idea. If anything, you want to use a proper voltage regulator. It'd be nice if you get something with a switch on it, or even something you can adjust the voltage on. Then you can have adjustable speed wipers. 12 volts into 6 volt wipers works for a little while. They're super fast. The problem you usually have with them is they don't automatically park themselves when they go to off position. Instead of parking, they actually, because they're spinning so fast, they spin past it, and they just keep going. So these are all the symptoms he had on his car. But the reason why for that is the motor had a dead spot in it. So if I had the wipers on and I just gave the wiper a nudge, then they'd run. But as soon as you would stop it, or if it would just start and it's trying to start on the dead spot, or if it's about to approach the dead spot, the wipers just go, and then they'd quit. And then the resistor started to get hotter than hell, because it's a short. If the motor's not turning, because the motor is literally just a winding of wires, and if you ever put a wire across positive and negative, you know what happens. So anyway, yeah, the motor was short-circuiting itself by not running, which fried the resistor, and this is the interesting part. It drew so much amperage that it actually sucked down the voltage on the whole car. All of his lights got dimmer than they normally would be. He was complaining about dim lights, and he complained that his license plate light didn't come on. Now, this car, license plate light and wiper circuit is completely separate circuits. But it does have an aftermarket light on there, and it might draw a little more amperage than what is normal for a Volkswagen. So I think that's probably what happened, is the wipers just sucked it down so much that it just didn't come on, or it came on so dim that he couldn't notice it. But as soon as the wiper was out of circuit, it was fine. So, yep, it had a dead spot. It wouldn't return to park position. Even with the wipers off, it was just overheating that thing, and it was just sucking down the entire car. In addition to that, I also have a marker light that's not working right, this one. I need to get to it, but the owner's actually going to be taking the car away because we have a potential, and this is actually it, a potential tropical system here trying to hit us, and actually, I think this is it. We're not seeing much more than this. It might rain a little, but it's directly south of us now. I mean, directly off the coast of Pensacola. If I throw a rock, I could probably hit it. It's that close. But it's like so minor, and it's so weak, and it's pushing past us as it develops, so we're probably going to see little to nothing. But anyway, he wants this out of here because it does have a nice and fresh paint job on it. It was just painted last year. And I said, this probably isn't going to hold up too well from falling pine cones. You might just want to get this car out of here. So he's taking my advice. It'll come back when the new armature arrives for this motor. We're going to get rid of the 6-volt one, put in the 12-volt. Everything else on this looks fine because it's just magnets. And let's see, it functions just fine, right? It turns, so I don't see any reason why we couldn't just change that out. So we're going to rebuild this for him, put it all back together. The springs and dings are all in there. Well, I can fix this. So anyways, that's it for now. Thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next go-around. Good morning, everybody. From another day in paradise. What the hell happened to my hat? My hat's all tarted. It's inside out. Oh, we need to fix that. Shit. Double shit. Okay, currently the key is turned off. If we check on the alternator side right here, on this side of the diode, we've got 0 volts. But if we check on the other side of the diode right here, we've got 27. What the fuck? What the hell is going on? What the fuck? Licky likey comment, subscribe.